On February 17, 2026, the State of Connecticut General Assembly Appropriations Committee held a public hearing to discuss elementary and secondary education funding. Students from ACES Chase Academy attended and provided testimony to the value of magnet school education. Additional testimony from Principal Frank LaBanca, Executive Director Thomas Danahy, and Assistant Executive Director William Rice was also provided.
Good afternoon. Senator Ostin, Representative Walker, and honorable members of the Appropriations Committee. My name is Jack Major. I live in Watertown, and I'm a student in 8th grade at ACES Chase Academy in Waterbury, which is a STEAM magnet school. I'm asking for support in preserving $12 million for an RESC magnet school grant for fiscal year 27 and creating a long-term fair funding plan for schools like mine across the state. My parents and I decided to have me attend ACES Chase Academy because they wanted me to be challenged at a school that offered more opportunities than the public school I came from. Because of the opportunities I gained from attending ACES Chase Academy, I have been able to be a state finalist in the Invention Convention in 2024. Our school has also given me the opportunity to participate in several after-school clubs, such as the school newspaper, where I have become the editor-in-chief, the History Club dedicated to our campus's history, and our school chapter of the National Junior Honor Society. Finally, I have learned many things from our school's Project Lead the Way engineering classes, which have taught me how to code, construct items out of provided materials, and help me become a more critical thinker. This school has given me so many opportunities to grow as a student. Without the funding and a sustainable funding plan to go along with it, magnet schools like ACES Chase Academy will have fewer resources, fewer programs, and fewer opportunities for me to succeed as a student. A long-term funding plan is essential to ensure that all students in Connecticut, regardless of where they live, have access to a high-quality education. I urge you all to continue working towards a sustainable and equitable funding plan that supports RESC magnet schools and all public schools in Connecticut. Investing in our education today means all of us will have a stronger future tomorrow. Thank you so much for your time and support.
Thank you so much. Just so impressed by these students.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Caitlin Dobos and I am from Waterbury. I am 15 and currently attending ACES Chase Academy in Waterbury as a 10th grade student. Before we start, I would like to thank you for letting me and my classmates be heard. As many of us are aware, there is a large concern about the lack of funding for magnet schools. You see, magnet schools mainly rely on things for us students such as letting us be able to take more unique classes that other schools do not offer, such as technical theater, digital photography, personal finance, etc. Without these classes, our magnet schools would be nothing but the same as other public schools. The inadequate funding would also affect the counselors who have helped kids like me who have gone through things in our lives. This is one of the main reasons why I'm going to ACES. The public schools I had used to gone to for 6th and 7th grade before I went to ACES for 8th and beyond was Swift Middle School. For me, it was not one of the most welcoming environments to be in for a child to grow and learn in. Other students and I were picked out for who we were by the staff, for our race, our religion, our gender, our style. I remember one time I got called into the principal's office at Swift to explain why I was being called a witch by the other kids. I had to explain that I was a pagan, so calling me a witch was the right terminology. Even after my many explanations, they called my mother to have her personally explain. After this and events that had happened, I didn't trust the staff around me. The staff at Swift saw me as something to be belittled, so when I got to ACES, I had expected the same because of what I had gone through. However, my experience was completely different. I didn't realize that there were so many students from different towns and all of them came from many different backgrounds. They accepted me for who I was, along with the other students. They didn't pick us out for who we were. They cared for us all the same. They didn't pick favorites for the differences. We have many. As time went on, I learned to trust them and be able to feel like I could tell them anything with the help of my counselor, Miss Noto, due to my PTSD. She helped me be able to stay calm around them when I used to fear them. The counselors at ACES truly care about the students along with their mental health. They also care about our grades. They check in and make sure to see if we need any help. The teachers are also the same. They make sure to stay with all of us until we understand something we don't. If we don't understand something, they don't walk away and casually dismiss us. They sit with us and explain it. ACES saved my life, not as a joke, but literally. The people there understand and are willing to help even if it's something large. The classes are very engaging and very fun in my opinion. And without the funding that is needed for these schools, there are many classes and services that might not be able to keep running along because of this. It is also a lack of funding that might affect the staff that cares about the students so much. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Honorable members of the Appropriations Committee, I'm Dr. Frank LaBanca, a resident of Sandy Hook and the principal of ACES Chase Academy, a 612 STEAM interdistrict RESC magnet school operating in Waterbury. I'm a magnet school leader because I firmly believe in the values of public education and opportunities for school choice. I'm here speaking on the long-term equitable funding of RESC magnet schools, and I'm asking for your support in preserving the $12 million in RESC magnet funding for fiscal year 27. This is the second magnet school I am leading. I purposefully choose to be a magnet education and instructional leader because providing an environment for a tremendously diverse community and doing education different is the heart and soul of magnet education and my own philosophy of education. Our school attracts students from 30 different towns. Our students consistently outperform their cohort matched counterparts from their respective hometowns on state achievement measures. We are the only school in Connecticut to be recognized as a Project Lead the Way School of Distinction for the past 10 years. All of our middle school students participate in this engineering program, and almost 50% of our current high school students do as well. By the end of the school year, 50% of our sophomore students, which is currently our oldest class, will have earned post-university college credit, and our goal is to be over 90% of students by the time they are seniors. This year, ACES Chase Academy was named a Magnet Schools of America National School of Excellence. I'm proud of our school's accomplishments, but we are doing this on an unsustainable fiscal model. The state determined that the tuition paid by sending towns to magnet schools should be capped at 55% of the previous years, with the intention of the state magnet grant covering the balance. Sadly, this did not happen, and our school basically receives a little over $14,000 per student. With a state average of $22,000, we are approximately $8,000 per student lower. That equates to a $4.4 million relative deficit. If we take the absolute last place district for per pupil expenditures in the state at 16.5K, that still equates to a relative difference of $1.375 million. We are significantly behind last place in funding. Those numbers are just for my school. Compounding these fiscal challenges is the consideration to transfer fiscal responsibilities for the Rehabilitation Section 504 Act from home district to the rest schools. We strongly oppose that idea. With its moral obligation to the spirit of the Sheff settlement beyond the Hartford boundaries, the state should be embarrassed at the fiscal mistreatment of magnet schools. The same de facto segregation that exists in Hartford and its affluent suburban surrounding communities is commonplace with the other urban centers. RESC magnet schools fill an important gap in opportunities for all students. I urge you to continue to work toward a sustainable and equitable funding plan that supports them. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. My name is Gabrielle Scott. I'm a 15-year-old student from Seymour who attends ACES Chase Academy, a magnet school in Waterbury. Schools such as my own are not given an equal opportunity financially, which needs to change. Magnet schools in Connecticut are currently not given the same amount of funding as traditional schools are, which is very challenging. What makes magnet schools special is the environment we have compared to traditional schools. Magnet schools provide a diverse and uplifting community to students of many backgrounds, often those who are less fortunate like myself. I am someone who chose to attend a magnet school because my former middle school failed to provide an appropriate environment for me. I was bullied not only by students but by staff as well while I was dealing with a chronic illness. My school did not provide and accommodate for my situation, and I eventually ended up having to leave my middle school and attend a better place. So that led me to search out a magnet school. And what attracted me specifically to ACES Chase Academy was the community. The small class sizes allow students and teachers to work one-on-one, which helped me grow academically. And the class sizes also include a diverse student body. We have students from many different backgrounds, cultures, and towns, and this is just like what makes our school welcoming. So to keep this going, we do need equal funds for our community. We need our education to be supported just like traditional schools are. Students from less fortunate backgrounds should receive the same future and opportunity as those who go to traditional schools do. I hope that my words have encouraged you to consider funding our schools and really just to do better for the future.
Thank you so much.
My name is Logan Locke, an 8th grade student at ACES Chase Academy. I came to ACES to improve myself with the collegiate education and to build a foundation for my future. In Lao, my grandma always says, "By hong hian, hu siwit, hu pen kon di nai lok ani," meaning go to school, learn life to be a good person on this earth. Today, me and many other people come to ask for preserving the $12 million in funding. This is my testimony. At ACES, many students are surrounded by friends and teachers who care not just for student grades, but for student growth and well-being. A part of well-being is feeling safe and protected. Throughout the country, many students worry about being taken from schools because of their parents being immigrants. Manny Chavez, a commentator at a town meeting, who said, "I shouldn't be scared. I should be focusing on school and I can't focus." As a child of immigrant parents, I worry every day about being able to see my family again, and not just me. At ACES Chase Academy, I feel safe here. Here, I know teachers won't let this happen to students. School is not just a place to learn, it's also a place to feel safe. But how can I feel safe and other students feel safe with low funding in Connecticut schools? This is why I'm advocating for my school. I'm advocating for better funding in Connecticut schools and all Connecticut magnet schools. So as a whole, we can have a safe campus, a safe environment, and better education for our future. Present students and future students, students who are the future of our world, which is why I ask for more funding for our schools. All schools say something along the lines of, "This school will have your child a bright future." But how can I have a better future with low funding in Connecticut? Think about the limitless possibilities we can make with more funding. As a personal testimony at ACES Chase Academy, I've learned so much from the PLTW program and much more. So please consider my testimony and our country's future with better funding in Connecticut. I ask for the $12 million for RESC magnet schools such as ACES Chase Academy. So with the money that I hope will be provided, I know our schools will use the money as soon as it is given to help make better schools for our future of the country. Thank you for your time and consideration for hearing my testimony.
Thank you so much for your testimony.
Thank you, committee man. I'm Tajari Duarte. I'm a student here at ACES Chase Academy. I'm 16 years old, and I'm in the 10th grade. I live in Waterbury, Connecticut, most of you know as the Brass City of Connecticut. I'm here representing magnet schools across the country, across the state. ACES gave me the opportunity to become the student body president, where I fought for affordable things in our school, like having lunches become better. I fought for values that our school has, values of educate, taking risk, and community, and making sure family is more than school. Our school views ourselves more as a family than a school. Rather than having social life over education with smaller classrooms where you're able to talk to your teacher directly or talk to a student or even go to your principal with any matter that you have. With the smaller classroom, students are less likely to get distracted or lose focus in class. Teachers actually have relationships with the students, and you can indirectly go to the principal with your concerns and he will hear about it. The thing that makes Chase different is that we have classes that are funded by budgets that no other high school has, like a personal finance class, the only one in Waterbury, Connecticut. We are typically a high school of different towns, communities. Chase strives to have a value of educate anyone regardless of their race, gender, or sexuality. We believe that everyone has a chance in education. We have classes that teach you TLEs, that brings you projects that other schools don't bring. Magnet schools bring the backbone of the Board of Education of Connecticut. The opportunities that our school has cannot go away. Many students will disappear. And I say that the budget from Ned Lamont from the fiscal year of 2027 will put our Magnum schools back 1,000 years. ACES at Chase only received $14,558,000, where the cap is $2,000. We want to preserve the $21 million. The ACES teachers advocate, and they want us to stand for what is right. For us to continue with the fight that we have in our school, and especially what is happening in our country, we want to make sure we are able to fund our sports, education, classes, and to make sure everybody has an everlasting good experience at ACES at Chase and every single Magnum school. I end off with a quote by a philosopher saying, "It's not because things are difficult because we do not dare. It's because we do not dare that they are difficult." Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Honorable Chairs Senator Kathy Austin and Representative Tony Walker and Senator McCrory, ranking members and distinguished members of the Appropriations Committee. I'm Tom Danahy, Executive Director of ACES, New Haven County's Regional Education Service Center. ACES operates 3 magnet schools in the New Haven region: Wintergreen Interdistrict Magnet School in Hamden, ACES at Chase in Waterbury, and Educational Center for the Arts in New Haven. I testify before you in opposition to the governor's elimination of the $12 million in funding designated for Rest Magnet Schools. Ask students who attend magnet schools, as well as their parents, why they like school choice, and they will give you as many reasons that you heard today. Whatever their reasons may be, both students and their parents want to have a choice in choosing where to enroll in grades K to 12. Yet the governor, SDE, and the state overlook this opportunity year in and year out. Instead, they neglect to fund magnet education and leave operators to their own devices to make up for the shortfall. What's worse, they have been at this game for years and years. And most recently, they sprinkled a little salt in the wound by eliminating the capacity to raise tuition on the town side of the magnet tuition. Here's the math on magnet school funding per pupil. The average cost of to educate a pupil in Connecticut statewide is $22,054. The RESC-operated magnet school funding from state and towns is $14,879. There's a shortage of $7,175 per pupil. Connecticut's student funding formula is unfair, unjust, violates public policy, and fails to implement the state's educational interests. The state needs to adequately fund its magnet schools. The governor and the state need to restore the $12 million in funding to the rest magnet schools now. I also oppose Senate Bill 138 regarding the 504 costs that the bill would require magnet schools to fund. In the future, I suspect that there will be no reprieve for magnet operators until the state adjusts the student funding formula. I hope they agree to do so without cause for a new statewide chef suit or a 10-4B complaint or closures of magnet schools. And one more thing, I ask that the legislature fund the teacher in residence program at $1.5 million for REST, which managed the highly successful program and adding certified teachers of color to our classrooms. Thank you and have a great evening.
Good evening, Senator Kushner and distinguished members of the Appropriations Committee. I get to say good evening for about 10 more minutes, right? My name is Dr. William Rice, and I'm Assistant Executive Director at ACES. And I thank you for the opportunity to testify regarding HB 5032. I like to frame my remarks in a simple metaphor. It feels like the state of Connecticut and magnet schools have been in a long-term relationship. We've built something meaningful together. Magnet schools reflect Connecticut's commitment to education as a right, and to provide families the opportunity to exercise this right through school choice. Over time, there has been many important gestures, such as approvals for construction projects and formula adjustments to recognize free and reduced lunch and multilingual learners in magnet schools. But long-term relationships require more than gestures, they require commitment. Recently, the additional $12 million in magnet funding felt like the next step, like an engagement. It provided stability in an already constrained funding environment. However, HB 5032 removes that $12 million from the magnet school line item. So our first ask is straightforward. We need to urge you to maintain that $12 million in magnet funding. For rest operated magnets, especially those outside of the chef region, that funding represents stability, predictability, and fiscal responsibility. Without it, we are forced to absorb rising costs without structural support, which is not sustainable. Second, we respectfully ask you to maintain that $1.5 million line item for the TRP program, which strengthens the educated workforce diversity and reduces the long-term recruitment costs for districts. It's a strategic investment with a measurable return. And third, we ask the state to work collaboratively with magnet school operators to build a long-term sustainable funding structure. And if keeping the $12 million represents an engagement, the development of a predictable formula together represents the marriage. Marriage requires vows, commitments that are honored even during tight fiscal cycles. The issue for me is both personal and professional. All three of my daughters attended Wintergreen Intradistrict Magnet School, and all were very well prepared for high school and college. Magnet schools deliver results for families across the state. We are not asking for extravagance. We are asking for commitment. Maintain the $12 million, preserve TRP funding, and work with us toward a stable, long-term funding partnership. We are ready for the next step. Thank you for your time.